shine, shine, shine bright. Be the star you are, yeah.
Since I've been on my podcast. So hi everybody, happy new year. Welcome back to Mick Diaz Presents Chat with Mick. And tonight, oh my gosh, I am so excited because this has been in the making for like more than a year. Oh my god. Like so I've met this guy since September of 2020. So it's taken this long for us to have him on the show. And so he's well-known, internationally renowned drummer from Introvoys. He's Paco Arespacochaga. He's a musician, songwriter, actor, vlogger, husband to a loving wife, father of 5 kids, and he's also a life coach. And because we're all here, we're supposed to be his friends, right? Yeah, and so he is a founding member of Filipino rock band Introvoys, and a lot of you guys know that. He is also, oh my gosh, he has won so many awards. Yeah, he's a gold and multi-platinum awardee, and he's also a recipient of the Guillermo Mendoza Award, and he has been a Zildjian endorser since 1995. And just a reminder, everyone, if you're watching live, hashtag live, and if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And yeah, so let's get this started because I'm sure we're all going to learn from him, just like, all of his friends learn from his life coaching skills. And so let's all welcome Paco Arespacochaga. Hi.
Hi, Mick. It's nice to be here. It's nice to chat with you. And magandang gabi sa mga nanonood sa kani-kanilang mga kinalalagyan. Ayun. Nakakatuwa because habang sinasabi mo yung introduction na yun, natutuwa ako dahil sa green room, you and I talked about spontaneity and good job. Yun lang masasabi ko. Thank you for not making it look scripted. Thank you for really extemporaneously introducing me. It means a lot. It means a lot to me talaga.
You are so welcome. And I just wanted to remind everybody, um, nasa Kumu po tayo. So yung mga
Yun.
nanonood sa Pilipinas, welcome back. I know we have like a few, viewers each time we come on
Mm.
Kumu. Yeah, so hello sa inyong lahat na taga Pilipinas, and yeah, we also have viewers from the East Coast and also
Ayun.
from Chicago, like yes, like a few people here and there show up from time to time. Yeah. And so hi to all of Paco's friends who are watching, and just comment away, and yeah, I mean, ask away if you have any comments or questions for either Paco or me.
Nakakatuwa,
Right.
Mick. Yeah. You know what, Mick? Nakakatuwa tong ano mo, no? Tong podcast mo, itong show mo. Because you've always had this passion of, being in the arts. And what people don't know about you is you've really sometimes iniisip nila mo na parang sino ba ako, ganyan, ganyan. But me, I will tell you, I am very proud of what you do. I am very proud of your advocacy. I like your tenacity and your passion. And so early on pa lang, keep it up. And totoo yun, mga kaibigan, simula matagal na pinag-uusapan namin ni Mick tong interview na to, hindi lang nagkakatugma yung schedule namin.
Let me make it bigger. There you go. Is that better?
Bigger is better, sabi nga nila, di
Yeah.
ba?
The bigger the better. And the more the merrier. Yeah, yeah, so thank you so much, Paco, for being with us. And I'm sure, like, from our conversations, like the few
Yeah.
conversations we've had since 2020, like
Yes.
each time talaga, parang tumatagos yung mga sinasabi niya. I mean, that's how good of a life coach he is. I
Ang,
mean, like it really works. Like yeah, and I remember a lot of the things that you said to me, like the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or
yeah.
15 minutes, 20 minutes that you spend with me on the phone. It really helps.
Ang maganda
Like
rito, you listen. You listen to the advice,
yeah.
eh. Yun ang okey sa'yo, like magko-consult ka tapos mag-uusap tayo. And ako naman kasi, I mean, no expectations, but when I watch your podcast, in-apply ni Mick, nakakatuwa. And yun yung nakakaengganyo, 'di ba? When people like you are paano ko ba sasabihin, you value other people's time. And the way I
Mm-hmm.
know that you value my time is that when we have conversations and the conversations favor you and you run away with the idea and you embrace it and you make it your own, it makes me feel proud, ha. Kaya natutuwa talaga ako. And I appreciate your support not only sa akin, sa amin, but the whole local community. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, and speaking of support, oh my gosh, we've seen so much support just in the last weekend, right? Like last Saturday. Oh my
New
god.
Wave
I
Night.
mean, yeah, the New Wave night. So shout out to Richard Del Rosario for putting that together, and Benji and
Mm,
everyone involved
Michael
in
Abad,
that
yeah.
show.
Yes,
Yeah,
Monty
Michael
really.
Abad. You guys are awesome. I mean, it was like a really, really fun show. Ang saya-saya, and everyone who
Nagulat
was
ako
there.
at nandun ka.
Yeah, yeah, really.
As in,
Yeah,
na-surprise ka. Sabi ko, ba, si Mick nandito ah. Wala bang ibang event?
yeah,
And, thank you for
yeah.
being at that event.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we all had fun, diba? And the thing that's really nice about it is like everyone was just having fun, and
Yeah.
everyone was just supporting each other, like very supportive of each other. And it was all because of the love of New Wave, diba? I mean, because everyone loved New Wave. I mean, everyone at Neupitz really loved New Wave, and all the bands. Like you can totally tell. Like with like, hi Joyce, Joyce is here. Like
Hi,
I was
Joyce.
just gonna, I was just gonna talk about Benji. I mean, so with Benji songs, not a
Yeah.
lot of them are like the popular tunes, right?
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah, so a lot of them nakalimutan ko na. Nakalimutan ko na yung mga title, kung sino yung kumanta. So I'm like, oh, anong
Yes.
title nito? It's like quote unquote deep cuts, 'di ba?
Yep.
It's like the deeper cuts.
At saka ang maganda, I don't know if you saw, I did a reflection vlog
Yeah, I
para dun
did.
sa,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
totoo yun, Mick. Walang nagdamot, walang nagswapang, oh, well, pareho yung synonymous, walang nagyabang, and everybody, there was this vibe of camaraderie na
Yeah.
sabi ko talaga, if everybody just applied that sa workforce, sa workplace, sa bahay, sa again sa mga organizations, 'di ba? Perfect example nung paangatan tayo, parang gano'n. Hindi yung aangat ako, lulubog ka, hindi. Lahat, "Okey, may kailangan ka ba? Oh, may maitutulong ba ako?" Puro gano'n. Tapos maganda yung sinabi ni Levan de Guzman, wala siyang narinig na nagsabing, "Oh, mas magaling ako diyan sa bandang 'yan," or whatever. It was everybody just supporting. Tapos ang nakakatuwa sa'yo, puwede ka naman manood lang, eh, but you took the time to take videos of every band and post it on your Facebook page. And alam mo, nakakataba hindi lang sa'kin yun, nakakataba sa mga local bands na may pumapansin sa kanila. Because 'di ba sa ibang tao pangarap lang 'to, eh. I mean, but then again, here are the audience, the rest of the audience embracing the local bands, and tulad nga ng sinabi mo, deep cut yung ibang mga music, but they were embracing it. And I hope yung mga original singers na Facebook friends din namin, like sina Paul Simpson, sina Jem Kelly ng The Wild Swans and the Lotus Eaters, and pati na rin si Clive Farrington ng When in Rome. I think they
Wow.
were watching. I hope they were watching. Scott Alexander of Dishwalla was definitely watching. But I mean, ang ganda because we're paying tribute to
Yeah.
these artists who have the same feelings as us na napapansin pa ba kami hanggang ngayon? Tapos here are these bunch of Filipinos just in love with new wave paying homage to the greats of the 80s. Parang ganon.
Yeah, and it's like, music from 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Diba? Yeah, and like we
5 years
give.
old pa lang ako nun.
Yeah. And so, ibig sabihin, I wasn't born yet. Oh, diba?
Okay, fine. Manalo ka na. Pero
Na,
hindi,
wala,
masaya,
wala pa
masaya.
ako sa isip ng parents
Mm,
ko.
yeah.
Ganun.
Sana magkaroon ng abangan nyo, magkakaroon kami ng NWNX. So, New Wave Night 10.
Wow.
Di ba? Yun. Sana kasali pa rin
Wow.
kami. Because that was my first rodeo. That was my first opportunity to join them and shout out then sa Introvoys because wala naman talaga sa plano na natututug ang Introvoys. Pero
Yeah.
alam mo yun, siguro for the love of new wave, di ba? Pati si Jonathan Buencamino and si Vic Carpio, tara, game! Kasi nagkaroon sila ng FOMO, di ba? So,
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to miss out, 'di ba? That's
no!
why I was there. I didn't want to FOMO.
At free admission yun, ha? So,
Yes.
lahat yun for the love. For the love lahat yun. Ang kumita lang dun yung Noy Pits.
Yeah, and I mean, like a lot of people ordered good food, right?
Oh, yeah. Dahil
Yeah.
masarap din naman pagkain doon. But, yeah. So,
Yeah,
sana
and
maulit
so
muli.
yeah, and so I was gonna ask you, since you mentioned about lifting each other,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And so when you were younger, did you ever think that you would become a musician or you would become a rock star, the rock star that you are now?
Magandang question yan. Actually, nung bata ako, so I had a brother, dalawa kami. My brother Louis who passed away uh, a few days over a year ago. He passed away on February 1 last year. So we're 1 year apart. And sa amin dalawa, he was the cute one, the poggy one. Um the he was the person people noticed. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but if you have a sibling na isang taon lang ang agwat nyo, para kayong magkapatid, para kayong kambal. Pero if you're the person na hindi napapansin, ano yun psychologically nakaka nakaka-insecure yun at a very
Mm-hmm.
young age, di ba? My brother, si Louie, very generous and very introvertish. So he really doesn't take it too well pag napapansin siya. He finds it to be sort of like a nuisance. Ganon. Ako naman extrovert.
So
So
you
imagine mo yung feeling na ako na gusto kong mapansin, hindi pinapansin. And then yung kapatid ko nakapansin-pansin na ayaw magpapansin, siya ang pinapansin.
so you were like the parang antithesis, right? Yung opposite.
Mm. Ganon kaming dalawa, right? So, ano to? Ilan to ba kami? 8 and 9. Ako yung 9, siya yung 8. Ganon. Tapos, sabi ko sa mami ko, Mami, bakit ganon? Kahit sa tayo magpunta, whether sa Unimart, sa Green Hills, or sa mall, or sa bahay ng mga kamag-anak, sa reunions, lagi na lang sinasabing si Louie cute. Tapos sabi ng mami ko, talaga naman cute si Louie. So tanggapin mo na yon. Oh, okay. And I was 9, ha? Mick, take note, I was 9. Sabi ko, di tinanong ko, mami ako, ano ako? And at that time, I really had big eyes. I was maitim, madumi yung uso. May pictures ako, ganun yung itsura ko talaga eh. Hindi ko naman sinasabing pumogi ako, sinasabi ko lang na ganun lang yung itsura ko, ha? So, sabi ko, mami ako, bakit nila ako hindi sinasabihan na cute? Sabi ng mami ko, kasi hindi ka cute. So, huwag ka mag-e-expect na sasabihin nilang cute ka. Okay. So, kung hindi ako cute, ano ako? Sabi niya, you have something that other people can never take away from you. And as you grow older, it will only get better. Sabi ko, what's that, mommy? And I was 9, guys. I was 9. Sabi niya, sabi ng mami ko, you have sex appeal.
Is that true?
The
At nine
story,
years
alam
old?
mo, okay, the story is true. Whether I have sex appeal or not is debatable. I don't believe it. Pero nung
Only
maliit ako, paniniwalaan mo lahat ng sasabihin ng nanay mo eh, di ba? Pwede naman ako basagin ng nanay ko at 9 years old. Pero alam mo yung after that day, I looked at my brother and I felt proud that my brother was cute and pogi. Because I had something. Binigyan ako ng birthright ng nanay ko. Whether it was an illusion or not. Sinabi niya may sex appeal ka so you have something. Hindi ka nga lang cute but you have something. So I'm okay with something. I think any person in the world is entitled to something. So my mom gave me that, whether bola o hindi. So every time lalabas kaming magkapatid, again, I was a 9-year-old kid with an 8-year-old brother, mag-holding hands kaming dalawa. I would hold my brother's hand with pride. And I would tell my titos and titas and strangers, isn't my brother cute? And they would all look at my brother and say, oh, Pogi, he's cute, he's cute. And then they would talk to me and I go, he's cute, right? And lalapit sila sa mami ko. At sasabihin nila sa mami ko, yung panganay mo Bibo. Ang cute din ng panganay mo. And you know, like looking back in hindsight, my mom, God bless her, my mom prepared me for the hard truth na kawawa naman tong anak ko, ang pangit-pangit itong anak ko. So sabihin ko na lang may sex appeal siya para naman magkaroon siya ng confidence. And you know, it got me through grade school and high school because I never doubted my mom. So I felt it was a secret that me and my mom had na may sex appeal ako. So kahit mukha akong tuko, yung confidence ko talagang bibong-bibo ako, di ba? Na I can do no wrong. So mga 12 years old ako, 13 years old ako. Sabi ko sa mami ko, kakahiya, Mick, pero sige, kikwento ko na. Baka kasi may mga taong katulad ko na feeling hopeless na mabigyan ng hope. So sabi ko, mami, kalalabas lang ng bagets. Hindi ko makakalimutan to, 1984. I was 13 years old. I'm 50 years old now. So, kalalabas lang ng bagets. Sabi ko sa mami ko, Mami, I want to be in Bagets 2. I didn't even know there was going to be a Bagets 2. Dahil kalalabas lang ng Bagets na movie. Okay? So sabi ng mami ko, and my mom was very supportive, by the way. Hindi siya yung tipong mami na, hay nako, tumigil ka na nga dyan sa mga kahibangan mo. And she was like, sige, anong gusto mong gawin natin? Sabi ko, Mami, pumunta tayo sa Viva Films, mag-a-apply ako maging matinee idol. Sabi ng mami ko. Sabi ng mom ko, sige, pupunta tayo ng Viva Films at mag-a-apply ka maging matinee idol. I kid you not, we went to the Triumph building on Quezon Boulevard, Quezon Avenue. We went inside and now that I look back, parang I only have praises for my mom for actually putting up with me, no? So imagine a 13-year-old kid and she was trying to build my confidence. We went inside Viva Films and sabi ng receptionist, ano po yun? And my mom said, okay, Enrico, because that's my real name. Sige, Enrico, tell her what you want to do. Sabi ko, I want to apply to be a matinee idol.
At 13.
13. Tapos, hindi ko alam kung nagkikindatan sila ng nanay ko or whatever, pero binigyan ako ng biodata nung receptionist. Sa Pilipinas, yung application form was called a biodata.
Mm-hmm.
It's a blank form that you needed to fill out, blah, blah, blah. Tapos sa Pilipinas, yung application form, may 1-by-1 ID picture yun eh. Hindi ko makalimutan sinabi ng receptionist ng Viva Films, sabi, iho, pumunta ka rin sa tindahan sa labas, magpa-pictorial ka na. So, ano yung feeling ko, eto na to, magpapa-pictorial na ako.
That's your chance.
pero di talaga siya pictorial. It was an ID picture that they were going to put on that bio data, whatever. But why am I sharing the story? It's because it was a prelude to what was to happen. I got rejected, by the way. I never had my matinee idol moment. I was never in Baguettes too. Um, it was painful. Yung tipong ganon, like, but it did not stop me from being creative and from getting creative because ang desire ko was to be in showbiz. I wanted to be there. Hindi ko naisip na may mga tutulungan ako in the future. Hindi ko naisip na may inspire ako in the future. I just wanted to follow my dreams. And I had
Mhm.
my mom backing me up. And when you have a parent or both parents backing you up, you can do no wrong eh.
Mhm.
Diba? Parang ganon. So ang trade-off lang, I just had to do my homework. Pag tapos na yung homework, other people would play patintero or hide and seek or agawan base. Ako hindi. I'd practice my singing. Pero I never really knew how to sing. As in, ang sama-sama ng boses ko. So at 13, 12, 13, magpapasko, sabi ko sa mami ko, Ma, pwede ba ako sumama sa mga neighbors? Mga ngaroling kami. And you know what? Maybe my mom was just protecting me from myself dahil baka mamaya malaman ng mga neighbors na wala ako sa tono and all that. Di ba? Bigla akong mag-ridicule sa barkada. And so sabi niya, wag na, baka mapaaway lang kayo. Tawagan mo na lang si Jonathan at saka si JJ. Pagdating mo ng 15, magbuo kayo ng banda. So, I was 13, Mick, when my mom said
Wow.
this.
Wow.
I did not wait to hit the age of 15 to call up Jonathan and JJ. After my mom said that, I picked up the phone, called up Jonathan Buencamino, and said, Jonathan, in 2 years, pagdating ko ng 15, magbubuo tayo ng banda. And Jonathan knew that I was a dreamer eh. So si Jonathan umuo lang sa akin. Oh, sige, magbubuo tayo ng banda. Okay. To Jonathan, it might have been a way of, sige na nga, sakyan na lang natin si Paco. Diba? But for me, for 2 years, I was counting down the days.
Mhm. Oh my
Kung
gosh.
kailan ko siya tatawagan ulit. Ninanamnam ko lahat yun. Talagang, I had my purpose. I had my something. And I was willing to delay my gratification because I had something to look forward to. And when I was 15, I called him up and we started Introvoys. And I started out as the band's singer. So the first song we sang was Depeche Mode's Everything Counts in Large Amount.
Mhm.
And I couldn't sing it. And so sabi ni Jonathan, wala tayo sa tono. Sabi ko, yung piano? Because Jonathan was the keyboard player. Sabi ko, yung piano bang wala sa tono? Hindi, ikaw ang wala sa tono. Hindi pwede kasi marunong ako kumanta eh. Hindi, Pax, hindi ka marunong kumanta. So basag na basag ako nung araw. Isipin mo, 2 taon kong hinantay to.
Yeah.
And on the first day, babasagin mo ko na hindi ako marunong kumanta. But I did not feel offended. Sabi ko, anong gagawin ko? Sabi ni Jonathan, well, you have to learn an instrument. Ako na lang ang kakanta. Dahil alam ko rin yung kantang yan. But you have to be able to learn an instrument. And yung time na yun, may gitarista kami. Sabi niya, ba't di ka mag-drums? Sabi ko, hindi ako marunong ng kahit na anong instrument. Sige, I saw the drums. I saw a pair of drumsticks. And I kid you not, you can ask Jonathan. Yung gitarista namin taught me a beat. And in less than 5 minutes, I was playing the beat. It was like, okay, this came naturally. And so I sat behind the kit. And sabi ko kay Jonathan, who's gonna play keyboards? Sabi niya, tomorrow when we rehearse again, I'll bring JJ. And that was that. So this was Summer to ng 86. This was a Monday. And sabi ko, magbubook ako ng That's Entertainment. Sabi ni Jonathan at JJ. Because That's Entertainment was new nung time
Yeah,
yun.
yeah.
Sabi ni Jonathan at JJ, ha? Ano tutugtugin natin? Itong Twist and Shout. Itong unang kantang kinover natin. Tutugtugin natin to.
The Beatles, right?
Yeah.
The 3 chords, dude.
3 chords, right? So,
That's an easy song.
alam mo ang nakakatuwa, Mick? Again, no? Sabi ko, okay, paano natin gagawin to? So I remember, ang mommy ko, she goes to Ricky Reyes Salon for her hairstyles, parang ganon. And isa sa mga regular clients ni Ricky Reyes, si Herman Moreno.
Oh, yeah.
So I had 1 week to sell this to Herman Moreno. I did not know Herman Moreno. Hindi ko kilala si Kuya Germs at all. I just know he goes to Ricky Reyes. So, punta ako ng Shoemart, ng SM, bumili ako ng New Wave gel, uso yun, yung may glitters. Nagbihis ako. Bumili ako ng damit. So feeling ko mukha akong artista kahit wala sa itsura. With confidence, I walked inside GMA 7. The guards did not stop me whatsoever. Siguro inisip ng guards, baka kasama siya sa That's Entertainment mo. Totoy eh. So I walked in, followed the crowd until I was backstage and I heard Kuya Germ's voice. And then sabi ko, I was just waiting for an eye contact. And I'm a kid of 15. And it was crazy because the show was about to start. And sabi ko, I just needed an eye contact with Herman Moreno. And then it happened. And I took that opportunity and I actually said, Kuya Germs!
Oh my God.
And I knew I had him when he said, Oy! And then sabi ko, si Paco, sa Ricky Reyes po. Sabi niyo, lapitan ko kayo pag may kailangan ako. And then he goes, ay Paco, kamusta ka na? And right there and then sabi ko, okay, this is in the bag. Because he never knew who I was. But he was willing to play the I think I know you game. Diba? Parang ganun yun eh. So sabi niya, anong meron? Ano matutulong ko sa'yo? Kuya Jervis, yung banda ko, ready na kami. Kailan po kami pwedeng sumalang? And his answer was, may gamit ba kayo? Sabi ko, meron po. Kausapin mo si Ate Carmelites mo. Ate, Carmelites. Ito si Paco. O ito si Paco. Ipasok mo na yan next Monday, ha? Yung banda niya. That was it. May gamit ba kami? Wala kaming gamit, Mick. Magkakilala ba kami? Hindi kami magkakilala, Mick. May banda ba talaga kami? Mick, 4 lang kami. Isang gitarista, isang keyboardista, si JJ, ako. Kaming 4 lang. Wala kaming bass player. Wala kaming gamit. Wala kaming kahit na ano. But you know what we had, Mick? We had 1 week and a slot on a nationwide show to make our dreams happen. So at 15, the process was ready, fire, aim. So after that, I left That's Entertainment. That day, I was happy. Nag-usap kami ni Ate Carmelites, if she's watching. Hi, Tita Carms. She knows this story. And si Ate Carmelites is the executive assistant of Herman Moreno. So, yon. So talagang super close sila. Anyway, I had a week to produce a sound system, a band, and everything else. How cool was that? How cool was that, diba? Other people prepare and don't know when their thing was gonna happen. At 15, we had something about to happen, and all we needed to do was prepare for it. Or you could use the word cram for it. Diba? Parang
Mm-hmm.
ganon. And that's what we did. So, sabi ni Jonathan, and nung time na yun, si Jonathan was like, mali itong gagawin natin, mali, 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 mali. Kami ni Jonathan, yin and yang. Jonathan is, siguraduhin muna natin bago natin gawin. Ako naman is, gawin natin para masiguro natin kung hindi para sa atin.
Mm-hmm.
Baliktad, di ba? So, naglaro kami ni Jonathan ng Lucky Nine. It's a game, it's a card game. Right? And then if you get a 9, you win. If you get an 8, you lose. If you get an 18, that's considered an 8 and all that. So we just played one round wherein him and I split the deck and we totaled our cards and I won that hand. So sabi ko, we're doing That's Entertainment.
It's a go.
It's a go.
Oh my God.
So eto na. By the way, yung instruments, shout out to Miss Dudi Alfonso if she's watching. She owned the rehearsal studio bootleg where we rehearsed. And I approached her, sabi ko, Dudi, how much to rent your equipment for the night? Just for like an hour. And this was 1986. And we were charged 2,500 pesos. That was a big amount in 1986. And I did not know if my dad had money or not. But I pitched it to my dad and told my dad I needed 2,500 pesos because this was going to change not only my life, but the lives of my friends. And if we make it big, you will get the money back tenfolds. Said a 15-year-old kid. So, eto na ngayon. Ito na yung day ng That's Entertainment. So sabi ko sa mga kabanda ko, hindi tayo papasok sa artist entrance. Saan tayo papasok? Dito tayo sa mga fans, sa audience. Because yung audience had to fall in line at 1 in the afternoon. Tapos papapasukit sila ng 5 in the afternoon and then That's Entertainment was at 6.
Mm-hmm.
So sabi ni na Jonathan, ni na JJ, bakit tayo sa audience? Basta. So pagdating sa audience, kinausap ko yung mga nakapila. Sabi ko, uy, sinong pinuntahan nyo rito? Sabi nung iba sa kanila, si Michael Locsin. Ikaw, sino? Ay, ako si Ramon Christopher. Ikaw, sino? So, ganun yung Monday group. Sabi ko, kami yung banda na tutugtog ngayong gabi. Kami yung Introvoys. Kami yung bandang tutugtog ngayong gabi. Ako nga pala si Paco. Ay, ako nga pala si Neri. Ako si Bong. The reason why, ako si Fernand. The reason why I know their names, Mick, is because up to now, they're still our fans and our friends. From
That is so awesome.
1986, ha? So anyway, so I introduced myself to them. Tapos, sabi ko, amin na yung mga pictures. Sabi nila, bakit? Lagay niyo yung pangalan niyo dyan kasi kami may backstage access. Kasama namin yung mga artistang iniidolo nyo. Papipirmahan namin sa kanila. Dedication with your name. Tapos pagkatapos ng show, magkita-kita tayo rito sa labas at iaabot ko sa inyo yung mga pictures. Tuwa sila. Sabi ko, pero may kapalit. Ano yung kapalit? Gusto namin, paglabas namin sa stage, gusto namin magsigawan kayong lahat. Yung sigawan na nakakabingi. Ang makikita kong hindi sumisigaw, hindi ko isosoli yung picture. Yun lang pala eh. Okay. Eto na. Ladies and gentlemen, Introvoys! Tang 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 tang.
That is so awesome.
Lahat ng mga tao sa audience, nagsisigaw-sigaw. Pagkanta ni Jonathan, yung litid niya, talagang masisira na yung litid. Wala kami sa tono. Mali-mali yung mga ginagawa namin. Pag nagda-drums ako, tigas-tigas na katawan ko. Ganun yung itsura ko. Nakangangapa ako. Talagang ganyan. Ang pangit namin tingnan. Pero lahat ng tao nagsisigawan. So lahat ng mga staff, pati si Herman Moreno, confused kung ano ang nangyayari. Parang, ang pangit nila tumugtog. Pero nagsisigawan ng mga tao. Anong gagawin natin dito? And you know what? After that, when we were packing up, sabi ko, Tita Carms, anong oras po ang call time namin next week? Ha? Nandito ulit kayo next week? Sabi ko, ay, one time lang po ba to? Akala ko po linggo-linggo po to eh. Magdadala kayo ng instrumento nyo, ha? Opo. So that's another 2,500 again. Pero again, may 1 week na naman kami para magkalat. But what's my point here? Hindi na ako nagtanong kung pwede po ba kami tumugtog because that's a yes or a no eh. Inassume ko na lang na pwede kami ulit tumugtog. Because I wanted her to tell me, wag na kayong bumalik. Pero now that's on her. And at that point, she did not have the guts to reject a little kid. Di ba? So she just said, basta magdala kayong gamit. Sige, tumugtog ulit kayo. Pag uwi naman namin sa bahay, saan katakot-takot naman na sermon ang inabot namin sa mga magulang
Oh my
namin.
God.
Mukhang maghihiwalay yata silang lahat bilang mag-asawa dahil puro kahiyan ang ginawa namin. Kung magkakalat kami, hindi pa ba sapat yung kwarto namin ang kinakalat namin? Kailangan pa ba magkalat kami on national television?
Napanood ba nila kayo?
Oh, they were all watching. Pero nila yun eh. Sila nagbayad
Oh my
doon, di ba?
So they saw everything.
And then we said, Mommy, Daddy, please, one more chance. Gagalingan namin talaga. Ganyan. But the point is, our parents saw our tenacity even as kids. I think no, ang nabilib ang mga magulang namin is itong mga batang to madiskarte. Wala kaming manager. We did not wait for the opportunity. We created our own opportunity. And I think that's ano eh. Ano ba? That's a character attitude that's disappearing right now. Ang daming tao na umaasa pero ang mga talagang nakaka-experience ng success and achievements are the people who are creating their own opportunities. Pero nung panahon namin, everyone was doing that. We weren't the only ones doing that. Every kid was creating an opportunity for themselves. So anyway, yun ang long answer. Ito na yung sagot sa tanong mo. So, nung natapos na yung That's Entertainment phase, I think I was 17 and kasama
So
na
you
namin
did
si
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years with that.
mga 1 year lang. Mga ganon. Tapos the rest of that, we started really just writing original songs kasi tama na yung mga cover, let's just write original songs. We suck at covering other people's songs, so let's just write songs. So ganun. And then we had Ira Cruz as our guitar player na ganyan and all that. But ang nakakatawa, the Dawn, who was the biggest band, had a show sa SM North EDSA. They had a show at SM North EDSA and everybody wanted to see the Dawn because ang galing nila eh. Ang galing nila talaga. And Envelope Ideas was the best song ever na ginawa from an underground band who's now a mainstream. Before there was just Martin and Pops. Now there was Martin, Pops, The Dawn, and Louis Heredia and Randy Santiago and Kino. But there was The Dawn. Di ba? Parang ganon. So ito na. Biglang yung drummer nila, si Juneboy, was looking around. Looking for his production manager or roadie or whoever. Kasi nasira yung kick pedal niya. So ako naman, I found a way to fix it. I just went up on stage and fixed it. So that was it. Pagbaba ng stage, natapos na doon, narinig ko si Teddy Diaz, the late great Teddy Diaz, the band's guitar player. Sabi niya, hey, what happened to your kick pedal? Sabi niya dun sa drummer. Tapos biglang, sabi niya, so who helped you? So sabi ko, mukhang ako yun na. Mukhang ako yung who helped you na yun na. And while other people would have just walked away, again, I saw an opportunity na, whether pagalitan niya ako o hindi, I raised my hand. Sabi ko, that was me? So, sabi niya, come here. And here was go backstage. I was like, oh my God. He wants me to go backstage. Bubugbugin niya ako. So I went backstage. I got introduced to the band. And sabi niya, are you a drummer? Sabi ko, yeah. Yeah. Do you have a band? Yeah. What's the name of your band? Introvoys. Are you guys good? Are you guys good? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. Tapos sabi ko sa kanya, you wanna check us out? Sabi niya, yeah. Tapos biglang may inabot siya. Inabutan niya ako ng business card. It said Lily of the Valley, owned by his mom. It's a salon. And may number doon. Sabi niya, whenever you guys have a rehearsal, call me. I'll watch.
Wow, that is so awesome.
Oh my God. This is Teddy Diaz. Na nakapuno na ng mga ultra, mga ganyan-ganyan. Dahil lang tinulungan ko yung magaling niyang drummer na si June Boy Leonor dun sa pedal nung kick drum. Call me. Me? Sino ba ako? So sabi ko kina Jonathan sa banda, number ni Teddy Diaz to. O anong sabi niya? Tawagan daw natin siya pag may ensayo at manonood daw siya. I mean, who would believe, right? But here I was again, the little optimistic kid. Malay nyo. Malay nyo. O, dito tawagan mo. Rotary phone pa noon, Mick. Wala
Yeah.
pa cellphone.
May party line.
May party line. So, di ba? Sa telepono, nakaganyan ako, right? So, I was like, hello. Sabi, hello, good afternoon. May I please speak with Teddy? Teddy. Andiyan ba si Teddy? Who's this? This is Paco from Introvoys. Hold on. At that point, I was holding the phone and I had 4 other ears. Buong Introvoys, nandun na nakikinig dito sa telepono, nakaganon na parang, parinig. Wala man speakerphone, di ba? So ganun kami. Mamaya yung konti, tagal. Mamaya, yung familiar voice. Hello? Sabi sa'yo, Mick, kinakagat namin yung mga daliri namin dahil gusto namin tumili. Ay, si Teddy! Nakakakilig! So nanginginig ako. Sabi ko, Teddy, we have a rehearsal tonight at Q-Mart in Cubao. Sabi niya, what time? 9 to 12. Pick me up. I'm sorry.
Pick him up.
Wala kaming kotse.
Oh my God.
Wala kaming kotse. Pick me up. Here's my address. Sinulat pa namin yung address. Wala naman kaming kotse. So meeting kaming lahat. Sabi ni na Jonathan, sana nasa bahay ang daddy mo. Sabi ko, palalayasin na ako ng daddy ko. Inaabuso ko na talaga daddy ko. So I went from Jobert's house, yung bass player na, we're all neighbors. I walked to my house and I saw my dad's car. And I said, Dad. So I explained to him what happened. And my dad, God bless his soul, and as generous as he was, said, just this one time. So imagine this. But we had to bring his driver. So a car seats 5 people. There were 5 of us in the band. And then we had to bring his driver. So now there were 6 of us. And then we were going to pick up Teddy Diaz. Kucharagis mix. Saan namin isasakay yun?
This is sedan?
Yeah. Imagine mo yung stress ng mga batang. Gusto lang makasama si Teddy Diaz. So we picked him up. We opened the door. He looked at the back seat. He saw the guys going, hi. And he said, move over. So everybody moved. And you know what?
Oh my.
He took 2 steps back and run and did a dolphin dive.
Oh my.
So let's go!
Oh my God.
Who does that? You're the most popular guitar player in the Philippines of the most popular band, and you're in the back seat of an
Mga
unknown.
ilang taon siya nun?
I don't know. But you know what? We had fun that night. He gave us pointers. He gave us tips. He gave us whatever. And we all took it to heart. But ang tumatak sa amin is, putya, kailangan natin sumikat. Kasi yung naramdaman natin, kailangan iparamdam natin yan sa mga bandang nagsisimula. Because ang sarap ng feeling na naramdaman namin galing sa isang Teddy Diaz. No relation to you. Again.
How do you know?
Sabi mo kanina, kayo ni Dennis Diaz, no relation. Shout out to Dennis Diaz, by the way. But what's my
Mga
point?
popular sila.
I know. What's my
Yes.
point? What's my point, Mick? Diba? I mean, it's a long-winded answer to a short question, but an interesting question. Na what motivates me to do what I do is to see that same innocent experience experienced by people who only have aspirations in life. Gets mo? I mean, now that I'm sharing this to you. Remember that first conversation that we have na, I don't know kung ano pupasok sa isip mo na parang pakialamero naman itong lalaking ito and all that stuff.
Na-compel katawagan talaga ako. I'm like, oh my God, why is Paco calling me of all
Diba?
people?
Because nakikita ko yung ginagawa mo eh. And then nakikita ko yung struggle mo. Tapos nakikita ko yung mga guests na dumadaan sa'yo. And nakikita ko yung, ang dami kong, oh my God, aray ko, oh my God, wag, oh my God. Tawagan ko na lang, at least, pag nakinig, de nakinig. Pag hindi makikinig, de at least I did my best. Diba? You can't accuse me of not reaching out to you. Diba?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
my
and
pride
I
is you listened and,
yeah.
look where you are.
And I remember, I specifically still remember that one conversation, the very very first time that you called me, because at that point it kind of opened up, like, my world, so to speak, because it brought me back to why I was doing certain things, right, and really going back some more. And and it was about presenting performing arts, and
Yes.
doing the arts advocacy. It was deeper than the
Yep.
podcast thing.
Yeah. And then after that, nung nakita ko, I'm not taking any credit, by the way. I'm just proud of what you're doing because regardless of how many the audience is, ang nakita ko after that was, totoo ka na sa mission na ginagawa mo. Alam mo yun, yung tipong nakita ko na, okay, now she's not just reading off a script or whatever. And like what we're doing right now, this is not scripted. Agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Diba? No questions, no nothing. We're just talking, you and me. Kung ano lumabas sa atin dalawa, it is what it is.
Yes.
And I mean, this is a conversation that we're having, and this is you and me. Ganun.
Yeah, and I, like, so guys, if you're watching out there, I, truly appreciate like each conversation I've had with Paco, and I watch a lot of your podcasts,
Uy, thank
because
you.
it, like, when you say you're a life coach to your friends, I really see like how you really take time to talk to people and really listen to them. And I know you do your own research in such a way that you're trying to help other people. Nagbabasa ka, because you talk about that
Yeah.
in your podcast and in your vlogs and stuff like that. Yeah, I
Kasi,
mean, I really appreciate that.
kasi parang lahat naman tayo, we should have our voice. Diba? Some voices aren't verbal. Some voices are action-oriented. Some voices are tenga lang, di ba? Kumbaga, others are talker, pero may mga sense ang sinasabi nila. But then again, if we all play our part, tulad nga nung nangyari sa New Wave Night na yun ang magandang template, lahat nagtutulungan. I had to step back and tell myself, it still exists. Yung community effort still
Mhm.
exists. You know,
Mhm.
you being there was a good thing because you represent the local community eh. And you being there at that event, pwede namang hindi. You having fun at that event, pwede namang hindi. But you were there. Tapos, pwede namang hindi mo naman i-post yung mga videos. But you did. And you were very generous enough to be specific with the videos that you posted. Which, if I was a newbie, I'd feel proud about those things. Alam mo yun, yung tipong ganon. And so kudos to you. Kudos to this, whatever it is that you started off in the beginning and what it is now. I mean, layo. Ang layo talaga. Ang
Really,
ganda,
you
ang
think
ganda.
so?
Yeah. Malayo kasi dati talagang, sabi ko, oh my God, dead air. and, and sabi ko, come on, Mick. Oh. Pero ngayon
Oy.
talagang, pag nanonood ako ng mga conversations, so, ba? Aba, yung mga follow-up mo, yung mga follow-up questions, yeah. Very effective. Good
Yeah,
job.
thank you. Thank you so much for noticing. Yeah, and so going back to Saturday, right? Because we're all still reeling off of that event. As in, like people, I know, like people keep on rewatching the videos and keep on liking
Yeah.
it and, making comments. And so, like, what was in your head, like, going into that event? Because, it wasn't like your usual
No,
intro voice or usual event like taking the Philippines to the US and
yeah,
that kind of, because we see a lot of that, right?
yeah.
And this was more like homegrown. Oh, let's get together because we all like new wave.
Mm.
There's like a bunch of local bands, right? Like what was going through your head when you got into that, that event, into that group and with the organizers and all of that? Like what made you actually say yes, you want to do that stuff?
First of all, shout out sa lahat ng mga organizers noon, sina Richard Del Rosario, sina Benji Collantes, sina Michael Abad, Monty Reilly, Annette Ortiz Diaz, and sa lahat ng mga banda, yung Thieves Like Us, Grand Fools Derby, New Day in August, and PBNJ. Pati na rin Introvoys. Pati na rin sina Glenn Jacinto at saka Happy Box. And pati na rin si Mick. So, when the opportunity presented itself, I I had the opportunity to tell myself, am I going to go with the flow and let the bands do it their way, or am I going to use this as an opportunity to let them experience what bands like Introvoys, the Eraserheads, River Maya, Mayonnaise, December Avenue, all these performing bands experience when they do concerts, which is the luxury of their own PA system, roadies, people to set up,
Mm-hmm.
lights, sounds. Yun lang pumasok sa isip ko. Do we make this look like a regular Noipits gig? Or do we bring in the cavalry and put some pizzazz, mga smoke, some lights, some... Pinigilan lang nga kami, mag-video wall pa kami nung araw na yun. But but I wanted my peers because they are my friends. I wanted to be in the trenches with them, but I didn't want to be the selfish one, knowing that we have a cannon in the garage na nagdala ka lang ng maliit na barel samantala may tangke ka at saka kanyon. So, in-offer ko yun. Sabi ko, we'll bring the gear. Whatever touring gear Intro Voice has, we'll bring the gear. And we just all have to pitch in. We'll bring a sound engineer. And no offense sa mga sound engineers ng mga club. But when you're performing at a club and there's a sound engineer there, you're at the mercy of their sound engineer
Mm-hmm.
because it's their territory, it's their equipment, it's their sound, di ba? And ikaw, pwede po pang pakilakas po yung boses kasi hindi ko po marinig yung sarili ko. That's all you can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I wanted all the bands to experience is If you want your voice to be heard, we have our own sound engineer. Shout out to you, Luigi Dizon. Use it. And I guess that's what happened that night. Like Randy Trinidad, the in-house sound engineer of Noipits, was gracious enough to let us do our thing. Kaya ang ganda ng tunog nung gabi because it wasn't your regular weekend gig. Parang ganon. All, I mean, the sound system was augmented. So what am I trying to say? It's I like the fact that we were not promoted in the magsho-show sila ganito ganyan, ganyan. No, 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 no. The people in attendance were there because of bands like New Day in
Mm-hmm.
August, Thieves Like Us, and Grand Fools Derby. They were there for them. And Benji Colliantes, they were there for them. And that's pride because puno eh. Nakita mo naman, Mick, di ba? Puno yung
Mm-hmm.
place.
Yeah.
Not because of Introvoys or me or JJ. It was because of them. So, ang sa amin lang is, let's do a Teddy Diaz. Bigay natin sa community yung kaya natin ibigay. Let's give back. Because they deserve this also. Let's let them
Mm-hmm.
experience what we experience. Nakakatawa, yung drummer ng Grand Fools Derby, who's a good friend of mine, si Joven Kalingo. I saw him late na siya dumating. Traffic, may dala siyang cymbals, snare drum, pedals. Sabi ko, bro, saan ka nakapark? Ay, dyan lang, sa tapat, malapit lang. Okay, good. Iakit mo na yung mga gamit mo, hindi mo kailangan yan. You can use my gear. Okay. And everybody was just, you can use my gear. Because, bakit tayo magdadamot? You know? Like, why can't they experience what I experience? Why can't I share that blessing? To
Mm-hmm.
inspire them na, oh my God, ang sarap pala nito. I want this. Maybe I should focus more so I can have this. Because yun lang naman ang ginawa ko eh.
Mm-hmm.
I just focused on it eh. Yun lang naman din ang ginagawa mo ngayon. Kaya successful yung podcast mo, you're just focusing on it eh.
Yeah.
Diba? Kanina we were talking about Garth Garcia. Why is that guy ubiquitous everywhere? Because he's not waiting for opportunities to happen his way. What's he doing? He's creating his own opportunities through his own company, Starlink, at siyang gumagawa ng mga events for himself. Pero just for himself? No. For himself and for others who want to achieve what he has achieved. Diba?
Mm-hmm.
Yun lang yun eh. And there's always
Yeah.
room for everybody. Yun.
Yeah, that is so cool. Yeah, and nung Saturday, you can, I was saying earlier that, it didn't feel like it was an Introvoice show because it wasn't.
It was
It was
not.
all about,
Them.
people who
Yeah.
love music and who
Yes.
love new wave, and everyone was just there, to hang out. And it wasn't because Introvoice was there. I didn't even know you guys were gonna play.
They didn't,
No one
Introvoys didn't
knew.
even, how about this? Si Jonathan Buencamino, ganun yung suot niya. Sa tingin mo't ba, pag nagpa-perform siya, ganun yung suot niya. He didn't even know he was gonna perform. No one knew. No one knew. No one really knew.
But the thing is, your sound, was so tight. You know.
That's because of the consistent rehearsals and the tours that we've done, di ba? Kumbaga, repetition is the master of skills.
Mm-hmm.
Di ba? So, yun lang. Paulit-ulit mo lang ginagawa. Day in, day out. Like, alam mo ba, when we played Just Can't Get Enough, pag pinanood ko yung video mo, ang dami tuwa lahat ng tao. You know how many times we've played that song? Probably more than Depeche Mode played that song or whatever. But it has to sound new and fresh and
Yeah.
exciting every time we play it because it's probably the first time or the second time you guys have heard it. Like in your case, it's probably the first time you've seen us play it, diba? So we
Yeah.
have to play it na talagang energy through the roof.
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah.
have to be consistent doing that. Parang ganon.
Yeah. So how many times have you played Just Got Lucky or Build Me Up Buttercup?
Like, don't tell me, hindi ko alam kung ano yung kasunod. Like, di ba?
I mean,
Pwede naman,
when I heard that first beat, like, you played the first beat of Build Me Up Buttercup, I'm like, oh my god, I know that
right?
song.
Now, Now, I could have played it. Wala lang pa. Og, ak, ogog, og, o, oog, Parang, and then nakatingin lang ako sa taas. Parang, okay, hindi pa ba tayo tapos? No! I mean, I guess there has to be a sense of gratitude, di ba? When you have a sense of gratitude, it becomes like the first time all the time,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm grateful na we're having this conversation in front of an audience now, di ba? Pwede naman ako nakaganda. Oh, sige, anong tatanong mo sa akin? Pero why? Why will I do that? I should be grateful na pinapansin mo ko. Pwede naman hindi eh. Pwede mo naman ako hindi pansinin eh. Yung mga guests na nagpupunta sa Paco's Place, why wouldn't I want them to feel important? They made me feel important by actually taking the time to come to Paco's Place. I should be grateful. And I guess yung gratefulness goes a long way. When you're grateful kasi, you lose that sense of entitlement. Ako personally, I couldn't selfie myself nowadays because parang why am I selfieing myself to promote Paco's Place? Parang give myself a break. It's not about me. Diba? Think about it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
True.
Conversations with Mick. Eh kung ikaw na lang ang dadaldal, di po chicks, pangalanin mo na lang Mick Monologue, di ba? Yun lang naman yun eh.
The Mick monologue.
Right?
You just gave me an idea. The Mick monologues.
Now look at me. I talk a lot, but you wouldn't see me talking this much on my own podcast. Because the podcast is not about me.
Mm-hmm.
The podcast, and then I tell the guests, I encourage the guests to share their story because may isang tao lang na nanonood na makaka-relate dun sa guest
Mm-hmm.
at mabago namin ng guest yung buhay ng taong nanonood. That's it.
Yes, and I've watched a lot of your podcasts, and the guests you've had, like there are certain moments that you're just like, wow, like I now understand, or I can now relate. Or
Diba?
like, yeah, like, or talagang nakakatulong yung mga kwento nila, yung experiences nila. Yeah, like, and stuff no one would ever know, like
Mm-hmm.
we go through a lot of the same things,
Yes.
and
It
we
doesn't
all
matter kung...
assume, like
Yes.
I assume like you've never gone through like bad stuff. you
Parang,
know
he has it made, ganyan-ganyan. Parang, ay tao rin pala siya.
yeah.
Ay pareho lang pala kami. Ay mas malaki pala yung utang niya kaysa sa utang ko. May ganun eh, di ba? I mean, the Martin Rivera story, how inspiring was that? Even his son Robin Rivera and all of us were like dumbfounded when Martin started talking. And after the podcast, sabi niya pa ako, that's content I've never told ABS-CBN or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And you've watched that podcast, di ba? Like, like, yung humility na, even the way he expressed the dark days of his life, the humility that I felt ng mga panahon na yun, parang, whoa. I mean, that guy is one of my heroes now even more with the whole, like, I see how humble he is. I'm like, oh my God. Wala akong karapatan magyabang. At all. And like, I see him helping other people na walang pangalan. Wala akong karapatan na hindi tumulong sa ibang tao. Dahil wala naman akong pangalan compared to Martin Rivera. But the guy will go out of his way to help anybody in need.
Mm-hmm.
Diba?
So how has your podcast helped you? And how have you applied what you've learned from all of your guests? Was there anything yung talagang yung tumatak talaga, or yung talagang, hey, like this guy or this lady, like her whatever she experienced, yung talagang you really applied it
You
in
know,
your life.
ang ganda ng tanong
Were
niyan.
there any
Yeah. My podcast has become my double-edged sword. Why? Because And we have more than 100 guests already on the podcast. Thank you to everybody who have been on the podcast. Um, and their story pare-pareho ng ingredients. May trials and difficulties,
Mm-hmm.
may sense of defeat, may realization na hindi pa huli, may may humility, may action, may action word or may action step, may consistency, and may gratitude. Lahat ng components na yon nakakagulat nasa podcast ng bawat nasa episode ng bawat podcast. Like you can scroll through any video, Mick, click on it, and you know that my podcast is not scripted. We'll start. The only thing that's scripted as a podcast is,
Your
and the
intro.
podcast will no you the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're
That's
not.
why I kind of memorized that. You're a musician,
Yeah,
songwriter,
yeah.
actor,
No, but that's
vlogger.
my vlog, di ba? That's my vlog. Eh. Pero yung podcast episode talaga, yung when I'm with the guest, yung, and the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blah 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 blah. Ladies and gentlemen, wala ngang introduction eh. Why? The reason why walang introduction is because my guest is going to reveal himself to you, to me. I don't need to set it up because everybody has a story to share.
Mm-hmm.
Parang Sea Biscuit yan eh. Have you seen the movie Sea Biscuit? The
No, I
horse?
have the horse. Yeah.
You know, that horse is stubborn. And the reason why he became a champion horse was because the jockey was smart enough to let Sea Biscuit race or run the race. Don't control the conversation. Let your guest talk.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? The way for some reason, high five to you because you're letting me talk.
Yeah. I'm just listening, dude.
Diba?
Yeah.
Pero yun yung keyword mo, you're listening, hindi mo sinasabing, ay oo, ako rin. Ano mo ba? Ganyan pa ako nung time na to, ganyan. And then later, nakaganon na ako parang, sige, may ikaw na magkwento. Pero hindi, you're letting me talk. I'm your guest eh. You're letting me talk.
Yeah, I mean, because there's so much, that we can all learn, right? I mean, you have all these experiences
Yeah.
that you've been through. Was there any one moment na talagang naalala mo? I mean, aside from the Teddy Diaz story, was there? Because you've had so many
Yeah.
experiences, right? I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
lifelong thing. You've been,
Yeah.
a musician, a drummer, a rock star. I mean, for so long, right? I mean, was there any moment, yung talagang naalala mo na, oh yeah, I'll never forget this?
Yes. When we were popular, we were super popular. And you know what? Hindi namin naalagaan yun. Well, ako hindi ko naalagaan yun. I took it for granted. I thought it was never gonna end. Until you catch yourself playing Line to Heaven in front of 4 people at a little strip mall bar. Not a strip bar. Strip mall bar. Hindi pa nga standalone establishment. It was just like a hole in the wall. The bar. And there were 4 people and you're singing one of your hit songs and these 4 people aren't even paying attention to you. And you wonder, what happened? Did I make this happen? Did I miss something?
Mm-hmm.
Parang ganon. And that led me to go to the States. Because ano pa gagawin ko sa Pilipinas? So when an opportunity presented itself, I took it. And that was a dead opportunity also. But then again, I had pride. So yun, to answer your question, dahil sa nangyaring yon, I realized I had pride. And I realized that I needed to work on humility. I needed to humble myself. I needed to open my eyes and not make everything about me, because it's not supposed to be about me. And the more I make it about me, the more I will alienate myself from everybody else. And I had to come to terms with that. I had to learn to laugh at myself. I had to learn to admit my mistakes. I had to accept my flaws, and I had to learn how to sincerely apologize to people I have offended. And again, to give you the second part of your previous question, sabi ko double-edged sword. Because of those realizations from my guests, and the realization I had for myself, which is incongruent to what my guests actually share also.
Mm-hmm.
Ang kapalit naman dun, you can sense bullshit, and you become less tolerant of bullshit. You follow?
Mm-hmm.
'Di ba? Because alam mo kung sino yung totoong tao. Alam mo yung kung sino nagtotoo, nagpapakyut lang. So ngayon, na si-sift mo na yung totoo sa hindi totoo. And nawawala yung pagka-showbiz. Now you tend to be more, paano ba? Eh, sorry, dito si Red. Now I tend to be more pragmatic.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, no? Hindi optimistic, pragmatic. Parang when I see a person, parang for real ba tong taong to,
Yeah,
or
napapaisip ka palagi.
kasi tumatanda ka, tapos wala ka ng time.
Yeah,
And
and
then,
you've seen all kinds of people, right? You've talked to all kinds of people.
and alam mo, and then when they're here, to begin with, they won't be here kung hindi sila totoong tao eh. Because ang sinasabi ko sa kanila is, this is not an interview, this is a conversation, and whatever you say here is perpetual. And when you're here, what we're talking about is your origin story. So it's not gonna change.
Mm-hmm.
10 years from now, we're not promoting a show. This is your life. So this is your opportunity to help me, help you touch a heart, so that that person who is on the fence can be inspired by you, your story, or be informed to pivot to another direction based on your story.
Mm-hmm.
And they get it. And they invest their truth sa podcast. And nakakatuwa, because when that happens, all of a sudden, you just have to get out of the way. Nagiging audience ka na rin. So,
Mm-hmm.
pagdating sa totoong buhay, oh my God, drama yan, Brad. Alam mo na kung sino nagdadrama, kung sino ang hindi nagdadrama. Alam mo na kung sino ang nanggagamit para i-advance yung agenda niya. Alam mo kung sino ang totoo. And natuto ako hindi maging judgmental, parang yung sinasabi mo. Because I see all these people and sinabi ko, you know what, something's going on in their lives, and I need to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So naging a habit question ko is everything okay? Naging habit question ko yun. And I think it's a nice question to ask, because there are people out there just waiting for someone to ask that random question, to give
Mm-hmm.
them an opportunity to actually give them a verbal diary of everything that's hurting them inside, diba?
Mm-hmm.
But when you ask that question, is everything okay? Be ready to listen. Don't just ask the question to be courteous. Ask the question because you're ready to listen. And that's your humility, because you're giving them time. If you're
Mm-hmm.
going to listen to them, you're giving them your currency of time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and sometimes that one question, is everything okay, or are you okay? Some people are just waiting for that,
Diba?
right? Yeah,
Tama
it
ka.
sometimes it only takes that one question, and I
Yeah.
know, you've experienced that
Yes.
recently, right? Like with your brother's passing and all of that,
Right?
and you were gone for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed that,
Diba?
and and I kind of sensed that, right? Like there was like this long period when you weren't doing
Yep.
anything.
Yep.
I mean,
Ang
I have
hirap
no
eh.
idea what you're trying, what you're doing in your personal life, but you could sense that kasi walang post, walang
Walang
podcast,
pulse. Yeah,
walang
yeah, yeah. Wala,
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, there's nothing, and you're just like, okay, is everything, like what,
Okay.
what's going on? Yeah, I mean, and that question, like, I mean, I know what you're saying. Like, you asked that of your brother, or had you asked that of other people, it would have made a difference,
Like
right?
ako, you know what, Mick? Inassume ko na he was okay. I mean, he committed suicide. I could have asked him, Sana, are you okay? I was on the phone with him 4 days before he, said goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
How? How
yeah,
do you come to terms with that?
and oftentimes we're just caught up with our own
Yeah.
thing, and we're not really thinking there, especially with what we do, right? Like there's so many things that we have to think about, like all at the same time, diba? Like, and to even ask someone, is everything okay? Are you okay? Like wala sa isip natin, right? So, I mean, so how do you kind of get yourself into being cognizant of the fact that sometimes it's helpful to ask that, like, what's the first step that you take? Because I know you've asked me that, like,
Yeah.
a couple of times.
Yeah. Ako ang gagawin ko, tulad nga ng napansin mo rin, di ba? You have to be observant. I mean, this person is on your radar. So pag nawala sa radar mo, tulad nga ng nabanggit mo, it just came out of your mouth. Is he okay? Di ba? Parang ganon. Pwede naman rhetoric lang eh. Now you're just asking it to yourself eh. Pero why would you want it to be a rhetorical question? Bakit hindi ka talaga mag-reach out doon sa taong yun? Like ginawa mo
Mm-hmm.
sa akin, na ginagawa ko sa'yo, na just ask. Sasagutin ka naman eh. Pag hindi sumagot, respetuhin mo rin yung oras niya, hindi siya ready magsalita. Pero at least nagtanong ka.
Mm-hmm.
Next is, again, di ba nawala na nga yung pagiging judgmental ko, right? So, social media, nakikita ko yung mga post. And before, sabi ko, ang OA naman ito. Ang OA naman ito. Ang OA naman ito. Pero malalaman mo kung sino ang OA eh. Pag all of a sudden, biglang naiba yung post. And hindi swak sa pattern ng mga pinopost ng taong yon. You'll know if something's off. And when something's off, dalawang bagay lang yan. If you're gonna ask, are you okay? Is everything okay? You get ready to invest time.
Mm-hmm.
Or reach out to a person close to the other person. But this is how you're supposed to say it. I don't know if our common friend is okay. I really don't have time to invest. Ayoko ma-disappoint yung kaibigan natin and feel rejected. But if you have time, would you be kind enough to ask if he or she is okay? That's not
Mm-hmm.
chismis. Chismis would be, Hoy, napansin mo ba si ganito sa ganyan? Tignan mo yung post niya. Ano kaya nangyayari?
Mm-hmm.
Tali mo, kwento mo sa akin. Yun, chismis yun eh. May mali siya yun eh.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? But, lalo na yung panahon ng pandemic, ang daming tao nawalan mahal sa buhay. Pwede mo naman sabihin, andito lang ako ha, pag may kailangan ka. Karamihan dyan, hindi ka naman lalapitan eh.
Yeah.
Pero lahat sila natutuwa na alam nila nandiyan ka. And these people are gonna be mindful of your time too.
Mm-hmm.
But these people can also sense when you're not willing to give them the time. Ang pera, madali magbigay. May pera ka, pwede mo bigyan ng pera. Sige na, umalis ka na sa pagmumukha ko. Pero try giving somebody the gift of time na alam mong hindi niya mababayaran, na alam mong hindi mo na rin mapapalitan. That person now has the responsibility to value the time you've given him or her.
And so, speaking of time, like with everything that you're doing, you have like a 9 to 5 job, like a
Yeah.
full-time job, you have a podcast, you have shows here and there. you were touring for like 3 months last year. Where and how do you find the time or divide your time, for your kids and your family?
If they say stop what you're doing, it's a hard stop. I'll stop what I'm doing. Galing, no? Like if Jaja says, stop what you're doing. I need you. I'll stop what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hindi ko sasabihin, kasi tapos na ako doon. Alam ko kung sino mga importanteng tao sa buhay ko. Again, you know what? Mayonnaise was in the studio and si Monty said it best. Time is the currency I carry and it cannot be replaced. So I am mindful of my time. Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Tayong dalawa, we invite each other. I don't ever promise saying no to you. Agree,
Mm-hmm.
disagree.
Yes.
But when it's a yes, it's 100% yes.
Mm-hmm.
Eli Buendia does the same thing to me. I'll throw out an invitation and he doesn't have a problem saying no to me. And I respect the no because I respect his time. Pero the time that he gave me when he did his podcast, which I'll take that to the bank because that was my time. And he gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant a lot, di ba? I mean, now this conversation that we're having, this is me giving my time to you. This is yours. You can take this to the bank. Iyong iyo to. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not looking at my, I don't know what's the bug. Ganyan.
That's true. And so, like, going back to my question, like, how do you spend your? I'm just curious, with the father that you are, like having all these
Oh, the kids.
extra,
Oh. Extra kids.
extracurricular, extra,
Having
more
all these
kids,
extra
more
kids. I
kids.
have 5 kids. My
I
God.
mean, how do you, like you have like a bunch of other things, right?
Yeah.
Other than your family. Like, so how do you, what do you do on your at your personal time? Like, how does Paco Arespacochaga spend his time when he's not in the podcast, not in the tour, not online? What do you do?
You know what ako? I like spending my time with my wife and our friends. Yun talaga because like like si Tone, yung stage manager namin nung gabi, he's my one of my best friends and JJ is one of my best friends and bandmate, 'di ba? Tapos sa Northern California, nandiyan sina Joseph Bayan, nandiyan sina Jill Ginto, may grupo ako doon sa NorCal, sina May. Tapos nandito sina Jenny. Madami kaming kaibigan ni Jaja. Eh. Tapos may mga friends kami from the same industry that Jaja's in. Sina Cha, sina Denny, sina Jay, sina Nino, and sina Jack, sina Albert. And you know, time spent with them is solid. Actually, nung nasa New Wave Night, that table where Jaja was, yun yung mga friends namin na magkakasama kami. On days that my wife and I are not locking the door and doing all acrobatics in the bedroom, we're with friends. We're with friends. So, kailangan, kumbaga
Okay.
importante lahat yun. Mag-acrobatics ba tayong dalawa? Pagod ako. Okay, anong gusto mong gawin? Punta tayo kinaganto ganyan. At tara, doon tayo kakain sa bahay nila. Pagdating doon, ano gagawin? O magbabike tayo o magbabike tayo. O may podcast ako ng ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And shout out to Michael Abad because Michael Abad as my artist relations manager and partner sa Paco's Place, he's very mindful of my time. I kid you not, Michael Abad is very mindful of my time. He doesn't have to do this, but he's very mindful. And yung mga guests, we're mindful of their time too. So talagang pinagtutugma-tugma lang namin lahat because the common goal is to present a product that benefits an audience without having to sacrifice time with our own family.
Mm-hmm.
So it's perfectly normal. Yun nga lang, um, it's nice to have Joseph Bayan doing the ins and outs of of Introvoys. Kasi I used to do the whole in and out, the whole business side of things. So that was time away from Janelle and the kids. Pero now that Jojo's doing that and he's doing a good job doing that, wala na akong pakialam. Like, he can take care of it. So that's more time with my children. I have two 13-year-olds. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. Tapos we have a new dog. So
Wow.
I have 5 kids, 3 dogs,
Oh my
and
god.
and one lovely wife. So yeah, that's how I spend my time. I just spend it with gratitude. Pag magkakasama kami ng mga bata, we just do stuff. We eat out or we cook or we just watch um, Disney Plus. We play Trouble, yung board game na Trouble, mga ganon.
Mm-hmm.
Tapos pag, sila naman kasi may mga mundo na rin eh. So pag nandun
Mm-hmm.
sila sa mundo nila, nakakapag-edit naman ako. Tapos pag nakita ko na si Miss Jaja nasa ano yun? ASOC ba yun? Yung mga ASOC na online mga site. Ooh, okay, nag-online ka. Punta na ako, mag-edit na ako and all that stuff. So may mga kanya-kanya kami mga racket. And then,
Mm-hmm.
sabi ni Cassidy, time to eat. Pag time to eat, bibitawan mo na yung gagawin mo. And then, kwentuhan na ulit.
Do you cook?
She cooks. I can cook, but I don't cook. Because that's another responsibility that if I cook, sino nagagawa nitong mga podcast na to, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Parang gano'n. So, if she won't cook and I won't cook, kain lang tayo sa labas or wag na lang tayo kumain muna para pumayat tayo and all that. But it's it's a give and take thing.
Mm-hmm.
And ang maganda kay Miss Jaja, she's very supportive. She's oh my God, I hindi ko alam kung ano pang hahanapin ko. You know, even my ex-wives actually said, tanga ka na pag pinakawalan mo pa yan. Sabi ko, hindi na ako magtatanga-tangahan pa, no? I'm very grateful that she's in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Even my kids are grateful that she's in my life. So,
Do you have like any we always talk about like how our parents or parents generation and grandparents generation always had ideas of what they wanted us to do, right?
mm,
I mean, do you have any aspirations or plans for your kids? Like
nope.
what's your dream for them?
I want them to, ang dream ko sa kanila is one day come to me and say, living the dream, Dad. Whatever that dream is.
Mm-hmm.
Say, let's say if my son wanted to be the best janitor or a janitor or whatever, or basta wag nila akong iistorbohin sa pangarap nila. Yun ang ibig sabihin. You can dream. Fine. But don't let paano ba? Don't inconvenience me because of your dream.
You
Am I
gotta go
making
for it.
sense?
You gotta go for it yourself,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like
Because
it's your thing. That's their thing,
yeah.
right?
You know what, if I dream for my kids, it means I have to do it for them. Eh.
Yeah, or like it's your own thing.
Yeah.
Then it becomes your own thing, not
Parang
theirs.
not theirs. Yeah. Parang yung isang anak ko gustong mga bayo. O, di maghanap ka ng equestrian place kung sa ka mga ngabayo. Kaya
Mm-hmm.
mo nga gamitin yung telepono eh. Ba't ako maghahanap? Kaya mo nga gumawa ng mundo sa Minecraft at saka sa Roblox. Hindi ka makapunta ng Google Maps para maghanap ng kabayuan. Eh di ayaw mo talaga mga bayo. Babayaran ko naman eh.
Mm-hmm.
Ako pa maghahanap? It goes back to me telling my parents, gusto ko sumikat. Gawin niyo ng paraan. Gusto ba naming sumikat ka? Gusto ba namin sumikat? Ikaw ang may gustong sumikat. Ikaw ang magsabi sa amin kung anong plano mo. Tutulungan ka namin. Pero ikaw ang magplano. So I'm doing the same thing with my kids.
That is so
Um,
cool, though. I mean, did your parents ever like think of what they wanted you to do, or they just
yeah.
let you do whatever?
My dad wanted me to become an architect.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted me to finish college. my mom wanted me to be whoever I wanted to be. And sabi ko, yan ang gusto. I had the coolest mom. Line to Heaven was written for her, by the way. I had the coolest mom. And, yun ang sinabi ko sa mga anak ko. I love you guys. You know, I love the fact that you guys are going to school. I love your education. But at the end of the day, I mean, the school of life will really teach you what
Mhm.
education is all about. I remember when Heaven was in his freshman year. Pag sundo ko sa kanya, umiiyak siya. Tapos biglang sabi ko, oh, high school to. Why are you crying? Sabi niya, oh, you're gonna get mad. Ganun talaga yung boses niya. Oh, you're gonna get mad. So anyway, sabi ko, get mad. Why? Sabi niya, I failed algebra. What'd you get? I got an F. Tapos umiiyak. Sabi ko, ba't ka umiiyak? Because you're gonna get mad. Sabi ko, wait. I'm confused. Who failed algebra? I did. Okay. Did I tell you to take the algebra course because I needed it? Because as far as I can remember, I passed algebra. I'm good. I don't have a problem. I'm living my life. I'm done with
Mhm.
it. So why are you crying? Because you will get mad. Why will I get mad? It doesn't affect me. If you told me you were crying because you are mad at yourself, I'd be empathizing with you. I'd be going, you know what? You cry and you get mad at yourself.
Mhm.
Pero if you're crying dahil magagalit ako sa'yo, ba't ako magagalit sa'yo? Okay ako eh. Ginusto mo yan. The same
Yeah,
way.
that's true.
Di ba? The same way, dahil magagalit ka ba pag may nabuntis ako? Hindi! May excite ako dahil magkakaapo ako eh. Pero dad, ikaw
Are you
mababayan.
ready
For what?
for grandkids?
Yeah!
Yeah.
Because maganda sinabi ni H-Bomb eh. You can have as many kids as you want. They're your kids. I've never inconvenienced any of my kids with any of my kids.
Mhm.
Why are you going to inconvenience me with your kids? Have kids. Show them to me. I'll squeeze their cheeks. And then I'll give them back to you.
You don't have to take care of them
I don't
after
have to
that.
take care of them. They're your kids.
Yeah,
No,
that
but
is
kidding
so
is,
true.
but I mean, it's an analogy, di ba? The reality is, hindi ko naman sila matitiis. But syempre, mga apo ko yan eh, di ba? Hindi ko nga matitiis. Si Heaven nga, sinasabi ko, mag-anak ka na. Ako na mag-aalaga. O tapos pag matanda na ako, ibabalik ko na siya. At least naalagaan ko, di ba? But, what's my point? My point is, your actions have consequences. And your consequences are your monkeys. You take care of your own monkeys. I never told you to get those monkeys in the beginning, in the first place.
Mhm.
I'm the type of parent who will not catch my kids if they fall. Am I bad? Again, if my children fall, I will not catch them.
Mhm.
I've seen parents catch their kids when their kids fall. And I've seen how these parents are so tired catching their kids. And their kids keep falling on purpose because they know that mom and dad are going to catch them. And what the parents fail to realize is that the children don't know how painful it is to fall. So they keep falling down over the same things. Because the parent doesn't want to get hurt when they see their children fall.
Mhm.
Pero if your child falls, the child gets hurt, you as a parent, you get hurt. Both of you get hurt together. But me naman as a parent, if as a parent who allows their children to fall down, I'll be the first to pick them up. Kahit masakit, I'll I'll pick up my child, I'll dust him off, and then I'll look at him and say, "Are you ready?" I've done that to my kids. I won't say who, but are you ready? Has the lesson been learned? Are you
Mm-hmm.
ready for the next lesson? Yes, daddy. Let's go. And what you're doing is you're teaching the child to be independent. And why am I confident? It's because I lost my mom when I was 20 years old. I lost my dad when I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My eldest is turning 26. I'm pretty sure any stumble or falter or whatever it is that happens to his life, he'll do a lot more better than me. Kasi may tatay at nanay pa siya. Ako at 21, wala na akong nanay at tatay. And I think I did okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of orphans there also who are doing better than me. So yun lang yung
Yeah.
confidence ko. Let your child fall. Gusto niya mag-adik-adik. At pag adik-adik mo, pag nakatikim ng overdose, yan, dalawa lang mangyayari dyan. Mamamatay yan or matatauhan yan.
Mm.
Pero para umabot sa adik-adik stage, ibig sabihin, hindi mo na huli. Ibig sabihin, masyado kang busy sa buhay mo. At hindi mo natutukan yung anak mo. Because ang mga bata matatalino eh. You tell them what's right and what's wrong. They pretend to ignore you. But when they are with their friends, they're looking at each one of their friends and in their head, they're saying, sabi ng daddy ko, ito yung taong ganito. Oh, mga fudge. Ganyan nga talaga siya. 2 days ago, Cassidy, my youngest, ano yan eh, smart, pero tamad. And so, I told her the story of the hare and the turtle. Sabi ko, Cassie, you know what to do. The problem is, you don't do it. You tend to procrastinate. So let me tell you the story about the hare and the turtle. There was this turtle, he knew he was fast. They were going to run a race. Nakita ng turtle na, ang dali-dali ng finish line. Kayang-kaya ko yan. He was mocking the turtle. And so halfway through, sabi nung hare, sabi nung rabbit, bagal-bagal itong turtle na to. I'm just gonna sleep. And when I wake up, siguro, wala pa dyan yung turtle. I'm just gonna take a nap. He overslept. Pagkagising niya, tapos na yung race. Nanalo yung turtle, nakaabot sa finish line. Pinento ko kay Cassidy yun. Sabi ko, you know what, Cassidy, consistency beats any smart person. If your trajectory is in the right direction and you are consistently pacing yourself there, you'll hit the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever, daddy. Ganyan. 7 years old eh. Diba? Guess what? The following day, yung teacher nila gave the same story to the class. And she actually raised her hand and said, Mr. Mandaris, my daddy told me the story yesterday. I know the ending. And then when we were talking in the car, sabi niya, oh my God, Dad, can you tell me more stories? So what's my point? Your kids pretend not to listen. But when they're with their friends, when they're with their peers, ano yun eh, naplantan mo na sila ng seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a deep breath and trust that your kids will do the right thing. As long as sinabi mo sa kanila ang itsura ng right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Diba?
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of planting seeds, what kind of seeds are you planting right now? And like whether it's like in your like music, whether it's with music or putting up a show, or like doing your extracurricular things. Is there anything that you haven't done as Arespacochaga, the musician, the rock star, the drummer?
You know what? Ngayon, ang seed planting na ginagawa ko is to align myself with my age, with my finite life. Ano yung feeling? Not everybody reaches the age of 50.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, Mick. Like, pag umabot ka ng 50, you know that there are 50 years behind you, and you can't repeat that. There's no guarantee you'll be able to do another 50,
Yeah.
right? The reality is 20, 30, 40, 30, 20, 30, 40 more years. Generous na nga yung another 40 years from today. So, the seed planting that I'm doing is, what legacy can I leave for my wife who's 16 years younger than me?
Mm-hmm.
Ibig sabihin, matanda na ako, bata pa rin to. So,
Wow.
una pa ako mawawala kaysa sa asawa ko. What can I leave her? What can I leave my kids? I have a 7-year-old kid. By the time she's 17, I'm 60.
Mm-hmm.
By the time she's 27, I'm 70. If she gets married at 27, I'm walking her down the aisle and I'll be 70. May sakit na ba ako ron? Buhay pa ba ako nun? So,
Mm-hmm.
ang seed planting ko, make, are building memories.
Mm-hmm.
Like when my brother died last year, he had 2 little girls. He never got to dance, the father and the son dance with his kids. It dawned on me, why don't I do it with my daughter now? Butterfly
Mm-hmm.
Kisses ang theme song namin. Daddy, can we dance? Oo naman. Why do I have to wait for her to get married or mag-debut? Paano pag wala na ako nun? Yung mga pangaral ko sa vlog kong hindi naman podcast yun, vlog yun yung sa YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Ang inspiration ko nun was si Superman at saka yung daddy niya, di ba? Pag sa Fortress of Solitude, pag confused siya, pupunta siya ron, and then yung recordings ng daddy niya, nagbibigay ng advice sa kanya. Sabi ko, may YouTube eh. As parents, imbes na nagsiselfie tayo ng kung ano-ano, why don't we record our sermon to our children, our advices for our children, and upload it to YouTube unlisted? Na in the event that we die, our spouse or our best friend or anybody else will turn it on so that our children can see who
Mm-hmm.
we are and seek advice from us long after we're gone. So those are the seed plantings I'm
So you
doing.
have those.
Yeah, I have those. I have those. Because I don't have that from my parents, but my mom
Mm-hmm.
gave good advice, and parang time na walang ganyan eh. But I read my Bible, I pray to God, I I meditate on His Word, and nakakasawa na nga, lagi kong sinasabi mindfulness, because the reality is, umabot ako ng 50. Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Parang okay. What do I do now? I need to lose weight. I need to stay healthy. I need to spend time with my children. I need to create memories. I need to be funnier. I need to share my embarrassing moments with them, so that when I'm gone, they can all sit around a campfire or whatever, yung daddy natin, no, tumapak ng tae or whatever, di ba? Kung ano mang kakordian na, they have those
Mm-hmm.
stories, and they heard it from dad.
Mm-hmm.
And now, if they meet one of dad's friend, if they meet one of my friends, who'll tell the story from another perspective, but the same instance and incident, they'll say na, oh my God, we thought that was fiction. Totoo pala yun.
Can you tell us one of those embarrassing stories?
Oh my God. Di ba?
Isa lang. Isa lang.
Well,
Since you
actually,
opened the can of worms.
pwede ba natin i-offline na lang yung part na
Okay.
yun?
Sige.
Hindi, kasi, you know what, marami,
Oh my God. We're gonna
like,
be here until 12, everybody.
hindi, basta, I mean, I'd like to keep that private for them, para at least,
Yeah,
diba,
okay.
hindi nila narinig dito, and someone can just come to them and say, oh, ano, and then they'll believe pala narinig nila sa show mo na kwento, and also, but yeah, I do have a lot of embarrassing stories and moments, from my adolescence to my adult life, even to being a kid and all that. And the one thing I've taught them is to learn to laugh at themselves, because if you can laugh at yourself, you're taking away the power from other people to laugh at you.
Mm-hmm.
Corny na eh. Corny ng tapagtawanan ka pag kaya mo pagtawanan ng sarili mo. No one
That
wants
is,
that.
yeah, that is so true. No?
Di ba?
Yeah, that is
Ayun.
so true. I
Grabe, ang
mean,
daldal natin. No?
and going back to music, so I'm really curious, like, what's your most favorite genre, or like your most favorite artist or type of song?
I'm a pop boy by heart. Anything pop, I like. Um, I do try to play all types of songs, pero pop talaga. If it's pop, I'm there. Ganon.
Who's your favorite artist?
Michael Jackson. As in, parang, ang weird, no? Michael Jackson. Kaming dalawa ni Jaja, we like the Backstreet Boys. We're watching them again. And pag kami dalawa lang nasa kotse, mga playlist namin, puro mga boy band. Ang
Oh,
weird, di ba?
are you a BTS fan?
My mother-in-law is. My mother-in-law is a BTS fan. Me, by osmosis, di ba? Kumbaga, I hear Cassidy
You get
singing it.
hypnotized?
Yeah! Oh my God! Di ba? Mga Blackpink, mga ganyan-ganyan. Imagine my 7-year-old daughter, di ba? Nagsasayaw ng gano'n, mga gano'n, parang, oh Lord. Wag lang yung aking 10-year-old sana maggaganon-ganon. I mean, I'm okay, di ba? But yeah, by osmosis, I'm a BTS fan. Nasa army na rin ako because of them. And
Oh
I
my
don't have any
god.
problem doing that. Neo Colors, the Neo Colors was my favorite. Still my favorite OPM band aside from River Maya. When River Maya came out, talagang sabi ko, wow, super pop. I like this. Parang
I
ganon. So,
I do have a story about that. So I totally fangirled. But I met Nia Colors, meron
di
pang
ba?
music museum.
Oh
It
yeah, I was
was
there.
si ano pa nun, Ito Rapadas
Yeah,
and Jamie
yeah,
Rivera. We're
I
still
was there.
together. They were still together, and I'm like,
No,
can I
Jimmy
make a
Antiporda.
request?
It was
Jimmy
Jimmy
Antiporda, yeah,
Antiporda
Jimmy
and Jamie
Antiporda,
Rivera.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, can I make a request? You know, like totally like fangirl, like totally went
Yeah.
up to them near the stage. Yeah, so that's yeah, like so when I was taking the videos on Saturday, I was like totally fangirling.
Ay, sarap maging fan kaya. Sobrang sarap maging fan.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yung mga ibang tao, di ba, parang papakit ka pa, fan ka naman eh. Di ba? Ilabas mo na. Di ba? Wag ka nang magpa-cute. Dahil, you know what? Ang hindi naiintindihan ng mga closet fans, you're depriving yourself
yeah,
the energy and the enjoyment of being in that moment. At the
yes,
same time, yung energy na mafe-feed mo dun sa taong ikinahihiya mong ipakita na idolo mo, hindi niya tuloy maibalik sa'yo. Di ba may ganun yun eh? Pakita mo, yay! Yung tao sa stage, I got you. Di ba? Parang mas lalo mong papakita ng gilas yun. Ikaw mas lalo kang kinikilig.
yeah,
And then mas lalo siya
yeah.
magpapakita ng gilas. It's a rigodon. And it becomes a love fest after that and then it becomes a memory.
Who's the person that you've seen live on stage na pinaka favorite mo?
Live on stage na
Yeah, like
favorite ko.
favorite performance
Michael
ever.
Jackson.
That is so awesome. I never saw him.
I
Yeah,
saw
oh
Michael
my
Jackson. I
god.
was like, umiiyak ako nung ang tagal-tagal ng pila. This was in the Philippines. Tapos, yung rocket ship niya, di ba? 60 seconds, countdown, 59, 58, 57, 56, blah, blah. Pagdating na ng 10, 9. Hindi mo mapapansin, pero umiiyak ka.
Oh my
And
god.
then, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tapos bilang tatalo siya sa stage. Tapos yung post niya sa history, nakaganon siya. Mahimatay ka na lang.
Oh my god. Oh.
Paano,
Literally
Mick? Paano? Di ba?
having goosebumps.
Kita mo, dinidescribe ko palang ginu-goosebumps.
Yeah, yeah.
man. Yeah. Yes,
Oh
ganon.
my god. Oh my god.
Galing, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
I
now he's gone.
mean, yeah.
Diba? Parang, wala na.
Yeah. So live life to the fullest. Diba?
Yes.
Because
Kasi you
you
never
only
know
live
eh.
once.
You never know
Yeah.
when goodbye
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. That's true. That is so
Alam mo?
true. Yeah.
Yung tipong, paano mo masasabihan? Yung pagiging finite ng oras talaga as you get older, nare-realize mo na, oh shoot, wala na, oh, kinakapos na ako ng panahon.
Yeah.
And then you tend to let go of things na hindi na realistic. To the point na ano na lang magiging realistic? Yung asawa mo, yung mga anak mo, yung mga kaibigan mong totoo, yun na lang eh.
Mm-hmm.
Are you with the right friends? Are you with the right spouse? Or ginugulpi ka ba ng asawa mo? Tinitiis mo? Eh kasi yun ang sinabi, tiisin ko na eh. And then, before you know it, 70 years old ka na, patay na yung asawa mong gumugulpi sa'yo. Pero what life did you live? See, we tend to forget na ano eh. And I'm not telling you to divorce your spouse or whatever. All I'm saying is, you have to be in tune with reality. You only have one life.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you come back as a frog or as a grasshopper, that's debatable. Pero right now, this is your life. This is the life that you're living. Are you living it according to how you're supposed to live it? Nakalagay ba sa kahit anong libro na pwede kang gulpihin? Hindi naman na. Di mo sinasabi wala yung asawa mo. Pero sinasabi ko, sumbong mo yan, di ba? Hindi, siya yung tatay ng
Mm-hmm.
mga anak ko eh. So, ano tinuturo mo sa mga anak mong lalaki? Na okay lang manggulpe. So, anong tinuturo mo sa anak mong babae? Na okay lang magulpe? May problema ka, Day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yun yung point ko lang. Di ba? You realize all those things as you get older. Na, oh my God, time and life is finite.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have to align and correct what has been wronged or done wrong. Because if you tolerate it, you're just extending it to the next generation, which are your kids. Then naman sa marito, you're too old to protect your kids. Pero ikaw gumawa ng mindset na yun sa kanila. And now there's no way for you to correct that.
Mm-hmm.
May sense ba yung sinasabi ko? Meron, di ba?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yun, it all boils down to seed planting. What seeds are we planting? Di ba? Parang,
Mm-hmm.
yun eh. Yung prinsipyo eh. Ano ba? And kaya ako lang nabanggit yung abuse, kaya ako lang nabanggit yung hindi mo utang na loob, pero just be grateful. Di ba? Iba yung utang na loob sa gratefulness eh. Because utang na loob means kailangan ibalik ko dun sa taong
Mm-hmm.
tumulong sa akin ngayon. I'm a slave to his generosity, di ba? But being grateful means you're free to do whatever you want, but you're living in that attitude. So yung manifestation nun, may mga tao magbe-benefit because yun yung default mo eh. Grateful ka. May
Mm-hmm.
boundaries ka. Yun, that's what I'm planting. I'm planting boundaries. Like siguro if the first, second conversations we've had was a time waster for me, there wouldn't be a third.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? I've done that to people. You've seen me post memes about those na parang if you're gonna waste my time, don't, ako na mismo ang lalayo sa'yo. Di ba? Parang ganon. Ang tanda ko na, don't waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have those things also. Yan, yun lang.
That is so awesome, right? I mean, like we learn so many things. I mean, like we're older now, but through our life experiences, we've learned so many different things, right? And it's like valuing what's important to us because, we only live once and we
Mm,
have to live our lives, to the fullest based on
yeah,
how we want to live our life and like not for other people, but for ourselves,
yeah.
right? Diba? So speaking of going back to planting seeds, are you planting seeds? Any seeds for the year?
Yung show namin, if that's what you want to talk about, yeah, we're planting that seed. So may show na naman kami gagawin this 2022. It's the biggest OPM summer show featuring River Maya, True Faith, Introvoys, and Glock 9. It's a 13 city or state tour.
Oh my god.
So we're planting seeds now by promoting it. Sa podcast naman, we are going to launch our Patreon site. Para naman kumita naman yung podcast. Wala mo na naman kinikita sa podcast eh. Lahat na nakikita mo sa likod, puro donated yan. And all that. So lahat puro for the love. So at least there's that Patreon part of it where you can watch the episodes of Rico Blanco, Raymond Marasigan. They're all there. They're all in the can. Tapos na yun. So papalabas natin lahat dun yun. Planting seeds. Ano pa ba planting seeds natin? The podcast is going to be updated on Spotify, iTunes, and all. So yung mga taong busy doing their manicure, pedicure, or massage or whatever can listen to the podcast while they're doing their chores nang hindi sila naiipit. And
Yeah.
ako naman, I'm just optimistic of every day, di ba? But I'm living every single day at the time. I'm not looking ahead or behind. I'm in the moment.
Mhm.
I'm trying to live in the moment because
Mhm.
ano na eh, yun na nga, umabot ako rito eh, di ba? Kumbaga parang alaga ako na yung sarili ko, and that's seed planting. I mean, if I want longevity, I have to be mindful of what I eat, my health, my exercise, am I doing it? Parang ganon. So yeah,
Mhm. And if there's any one person that you haven't interviewed but you really want to interview, who would it be?
buhay ha, buhay.
Yeah.
Hindi to hypothetical ha.
Yeah, yeah.
One person na hindi ko pa na, pero gusto ko ma-interview si Boy Abunda.
Wow. Yeah, like that's like wow, marami tayong matututunan. There's a treasure trove, of all these things like that we can learn from him, right?
Not only that, the reason why I want to interview Boy Abunda is because he has all this wisdom eh, di ba? Pero
Mhm.
pag ini-interview siya, may mga questions na nami-miss out. Like, I wanna know, you know, you shout out to Owagot, yung aking Owagot family over a glass or two, sina Jcas, sina Jesse. They've interviewed Boy Abunda so many times. And I want Boy Abunda on the chair and really ask him, how does he do it? Yung pakikipag-usap sa tao.
Yeah.
And lately, I want to ask him, are you losing it?
What is that? Like losing it as in
Losing his edge?
Oh, okay.
Because again, di ba, are you now in the business of interviewing people or having conversations with people? Because I've known Tito Boy as a conversationalist.
Mhm.
Tito Boy would listen eh. And lately, I've seen him talk. And that's not him. So, minsan gusto ko lang tanongin, ano nangyari Tito Boy? Di ba?
Mhm.
Because Tito Boy is a very good listener. Very, very good listener. Like, he doesn't complete your sentence. He lets you finish your sentence. So, yun lang. Ang ganda eh. Ang dahil mapupulot kay Boy Abunda. So, he's the person I really want to interview. Because, ano yan, inspiration yan eh.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Tito Boy has lost his edge. I just want to ask him if he's losing his edge. Maybe I'm just saying this to you, para if he's watching it, pwede sabihin, tarantadong Paco to ha. Sina-challenge ako ha. O then, nakaupo siya dyan, di ba?
Baka manood siya, di ba? For some reason. Baka makita niya.
Right? Si Paco, oh. Tito Boy, sabi ni Paco, you're losing. Hindi ko sinabi yun. You might be. I want to ask him if he is losing his edge. Diba?
Mhm.
I mean, that's ano ha. That's a lost leader to get him to sit on the chair. Siyempre sabi ni Tito Boy, sige pa ako, sasagutin ko yan. No, 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 no. Pagdating mo sa Amerika, Tito Boy, dito mo sagutin yan sa studio.
That is so true. I mean, he was here recently, diba? Like he received a few awards.
Yeah. Galing
Yeah.
kasi. He's very good. Alam mo, ni-reject ako niyan.
Oh, really? For
Yeah.
what?
Ang love story namin ni Tito Boy, love ko yan eh. Sobrang love ko yan. That's the only reason why I can talk like this. Is because when my dad died, wala akong pera noon. As in, wala akong pera. So sabi ni Pancho Gonzalez, yung manager ni Bambo ngayon, he's my best friend eh. So sabi ni Pancho, bakit di tayo lumapit kay Boy Abunda? O tapos, sabi mo gusto mo mag-artista. Tapos, ayun, magpamanage ka kay Boy Abunda. So I called the back room. I did the whole Herman Moreno thing again. Boy Abunda doesn't know me. No one at back room knows me. I just randomly called back room and said, I want to set up an appointment with Boy Abunda. This is Paco Arespacochaga of Introvoys. I have a popular song on the radio right now. And I would appreciate it if he can spend a few minutes with me. I have a proposal. But nag-respond. Sa Shangri-La Hotel, lunch sa lobby, and yun. So it was his treat, lunch, and I told him what I thought was a good deal, wherein, can you manage my solo career? Kasi at that time ba si Ariel Rivera and Jelly de Belen were together. Hindi ko alam eh. Something like that. So he contemplated, he looked at me and said, to be honest with you, yun ang unang line, you know? To be honest with you, Paco, I don't have a spot for you. Kumain ka na lang. My treat.
Oh my God. So how did you convince him?
I did not convince him. Ang nakakatawa rito, after that day, a few days after that, si Giselle Sanchez, kaya laki na utang na loob ko dyan, called me and said, gusto mo mag-artista? And then yun na yung sunod-sunod. She hooked me up with her manager, the late Del Pascual. Tapos naging tuloy-tuloy na hanggang sa napasok ko na yung showbiz. And then sumikat na ako sa showbiz. Nagkita ulit kami ni Tito Boy sa The Buzz.
Oh my God.
Mati ni idol na ako noon, nung time na yon. So, sabi ko, Tito Boy, naalala mo yung nangyari sa Shangri-La? Sabi, I know, inuuntog ko yung ulo ko sa pader, but I'm happy for you. Kaya super love ko yan. Di ba? That's why I want to interview him here because I want to ask him all the tough questions. Because
At the hitmaker chair.
at the hitmaker chair. And
I
shout out
love
Vince
it.
Nantes, the composer of Black Swan ng BTS, dinonate niya yung hitmaker chair na yan. He wrote the song while sitting on that chair. And
That
that's
is
where everybody
so
sits on.
awesome.
But yeah, Boy Abunda is the celebrity the person I want to interview. And pati yung beginnings niya, humble beginnings. That's why ang dami may inspire sa kanya.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yo,
Yeah.
ano, pakap na tayo. Okay na to.
I know. I know. Diba, I was like,
Mahaba.
three
Dalawang
hours,
oras,
3
Mika.
hours.
Dalawang oras, ha?
Wala pa, di pa tayo nakalampas ng 3 hours. Joke.
Ang daldal ko pala.
Di ba yung record time mo parang 3.5 hours yata
Yeah.
kay Martin?
Yeah. My goodness.
That was like your record so far.
I mean, sana wag kang magsawa, ha? Pero yeah, you know. I mean,
Yeah,
nakakatuwa. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here with us, and to everyone who's listening on Facebook, YouTube, and Kumu. Yes, we do have listeners from Kumu. Yeah, like mga taga Pilipinas. Thank you so much for sticking with us for 2 hours with Paco Arespacochaga.
2 hours talaga eh, no?
Yeah, I know, right? It is 10:04.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you for giving
Yeah,
me the
thank
floor.
you.
I really
And
appreciate it.
yeah, and I know you don't know, but you're the first guest of the year.
Uy,
So I was ecstatic when you told me yes. I'm like, finally, wow. Wow,
By
he's
the
the
way,
first guest.
Hindi kita pinahirapan nung nagtanong ka, 'di ba? Umuo kaagad ako,
Yeah, you're
after
like,
all the mga, "Hindi ako puwede, hindi
yes.
ako puwede." This time, isang tanong mo lang.
I know. I was like, oh wow, whoa, bakit kaya?
Thank you, Mick.
Right?
Thank you. I'm
Yeah,
proud
thank
of
you
you. I'm
so
proud of you. I'm
much.
proud of what you're
Thank
doing.
you.
Keep it
And
up.
yeah, thank you for giving me time. Giving us time.
Thank you for giving me time.
Yeah, and for for me personally, for giving me time and actually talking to me once in a while, and like I really appreciate that.
Keep
Yeah,
it up.
yeah. Thank you so much. And
And thank you sa
yeah,
mga listeners mo rin. Yun.
yeah, and we're looking forward to another new wave night,
Yep,
diba?
NWNX, New Wave Night 10. Yun, 'di ba?
Yeah.
NWNX.
Yeah, we'll play like you guys will have to play Siona dancing. I'm just kidding.
Sige.
May mga
Game.
request na naka-line up na yung
Oh
mga
my God.
request ko.
Fight. Game na game yan.
Hindi nyo kinantay yung Killing Moon eh.
I think dapat ang kakanta nun was New Day in August or Grad Fool's Derby. Pero
or
one of those
or
two bands were
ano si
supposed to sing the
Benji.
song.
Yeah, I requested, I'm like, sino kaya kakagat dito? I message ko kaya si Dennis, si Benji, si Paco.
Next time. Hindi na maganda
Yeah.
pag may mga next time, di ba?
Yeah, that'll be awesome because like for sure, like a bunch of us will be
Yes.
there because some people actually FOMO'd.
Yes.
Yeah, diba?
That
So
is true.
yeah, and so we'll show up in force. Yeah, but like hopefully bigger kasi diba we were so packed.
I know we were.
Yeah,
Nakakataba ng
yeah,
puso. Grabe.
yeah, but it was really fun. It was really really
Wow.
fun.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah,
Next
and it's
week.
good to meet you finally after like a year and a half finally, and it's good to meet like a bunch of people like Luigi and Benji.
Yeah.
I've met them in the past, but yeah, he doesn't we don't remember when. But yeah, and Dennis, and of course I've met Annette. But yeah, there's a lot of people that we haven't seen only in the virtual world kasi diba pandemic.
Correct.
Yeah, but it was great to see a lot of people for the first time. Yeah, and Richard Del Rosario. Yeah,
Shout out to him for,
yeah,
for conceptualizing this whole thing.
yeah. It was awesome. Yeah, siya yung naka superhero sila lahat, oh, di ba? I recognize that. So yeah, and thank you to Joyce. Joyce
Yes.
Galantes
Yes.
watching.
Joyce Punsalan
Yeah,
Aliantes.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sabi niya, very enlightening interview. Yeah, because we got
Uy,
like really deep in your story,
I know,
right?
no?
So that's
Pero
the
thank you.
power. That's the power of shutting up and listening. You get to hear all these things about Paco. Right? I mean,
I mean,
there's a
totoo
bunch
yan
of us
because,
here
alam,
watching.
tama ka ron, Mick, because that's how I get to hear the stories of my guests. I just shut up and listen. Ganon, yun
Yeah.
lang.
Sabi niya,
Simple
yes
for me.
daw, di ba? Yeah,
Simple
so
for me.
thank you so much, everybody.
Thank
And
you.
so everyone, to those who are still watching, we have a show this Monday, Valentine's Day. If you guys are not doing anything and you're still looking for stuff to do with your loved one, come to the Noi Pits, downtown LA. We have the legendary jazz musician, pianist, Boy Katindig performing. Can you imagine? I really
Galing.
can't imagine, Paco. I, I have him on my stage.
Legend yan.
I
Legend.
know. And then he was like, oh my God, wait, what? I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, Boy Katindig featuring Joni Villamil with Kelly Badon
Of
of
Side A.
Side
Yeah.
A and Chris Ivan,
Woo!
Remily
Foundation yan.
Benjamin, and Imogen Atangan. So
Galing,
yeah,
ha?
yeah. So we have a lot of really good people who are gonna do jazz. So it's a Monday jazz night, specially made for Valentine's Day, and there is a special menu that we're serving at the Neupitz. So reach out to me if you want to reserve your tickets now. We also have Eventbrite. So yeah, thank you so much, Paco, and
Thank you, Mick.
yeah, good night to everybody, and don't forget to watch Paco's Place also. Right? When's your next one coming up?
Tonight or tomorrow?
Oh, you're uploading it after?
Sunod-sunod na. Oh my God, talagang ang mga nasa roster, hindi ko pa rin sasabihin. Yun yung
Okay.
maganda. Hindi ko
The
sinasabi kung
last one
sino
I
ang
saw
sunod.
was Bon David and Josh
Oh my
Evangelista.
God,
Yeah.
napakagaling.
Ang haba nun.
Si Dan Belen ng Bamboo Bistro is the current one.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna watch that.
Ang
Yes.
ganda
Kuya
ng
Dan.
story. You know what, you guys should watch that episode
Yeah.
because kwento niya kung paano nagkaroon ng Bamboo Bistro, which is also another venue where artists are
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
given the opportunity to perform. So
Yeah. So shout out to Kuya Dan of Bamboo
Shout out,
Bistro. Yeah, and on Valentine's Day, JR is also having a show there. Yeah. So good
galing.
night, everybody,
Good night.
and thank you so much, Paco. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Yeah, see you soon. Good night, everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.
Time to shine.